Hey guys, I made a new card game. This is a 2 to 4 player dice card game. The basics of this is that basically players are going to be rolling against each other. And whoever rolls the highest, which would be him, would deal damage to the lowest. And the winner is the one who's the last one standing and kills off the other player. Now during the dice rolling, players are going to have access to 4 cards. Cards that can help them to either improve their attack or to help them defend. So I'm going to go over the card suits really quickly. So the black cards here are the attack cards and the red cards are the defend cards. So clubs, how clubs works is that if you play it, your dice value gets increased by 1 and wins ties. So for example, let's say like if you look at this here, right? He rolled a 5, he rolled a 6. But if this player had played a clubs, his 5 becomes a 6, and he wins ties against the other 6, so he would win. Next card is the spades. If you play a spades, then if you win your roll, you will deal 1 additional damage. So if this player who won had played a spades beforehand, he would be dealing 2 damage total to this player. Alright, so these are the cards you would generally use before you roll. The cards you can use after your rolls are the defend cards over here. So the diamonds one over here, this one allows you to re-roll 1 of your die. So let's say this player is like, crap, I'm losing. So he can re-roll, play the diamonds, re-roll 1 of his die, and he rolls a 5, so now he's an 8. So he's beating the 6 over here. So that's the diamonds. The hearts it basically negates damage. So if he has an 8, I have a 6, I'm losing, I can play my hearts and negate 1 damage that I would have taken from him. Alright, so those are the main basics. So now I'm going to go over the setup, the drafting, and the gameplay. So to set up the game, you basically divide your deck of cards into different suits. You got clubs, spades, hearts, diamonds, right? And by the way, I forgot to mention, for this game, you only need 1 deck of cards and a pair of die per person. Okay, so you divide into different suits, and then you take out the 10 through ace from each pile. So I already did it beforehand. So you see, like, you take out all 5 of these cards for each pile. And if you notice, you have 4 of those piles. So you can have up to 4 players playing because there are 4 health packs available. Alright, so for this game, we're just going to play with 2 players. So I'm going to take out these health packs. We don't really need them. And I'll take this health pack over here, and he can have the health pack over here. Okay, so next we do the drafting. So how drafting works is that basically you flip these over and shuffle them. Over 10 I shuffled them already. And then you flip over the number of players plus 1 cards. So if there's 2 players, right? You'd flip over 2 cards plus 1, so that's 3. So I'll flip over 3 from each one. And once you flip them over, you determine who gets to go first. You can do that by dice roll, who's the oldest, who won the last round, who's the prettiest. Well, maybe not the prettiest, that's kind of subjective. Okay. And then you start drafting. And, you know, I recommend you guys make up your own variant on how you want to draft, but I'll just go over the drafting for this game. So how it works is that it's like a snake. So if I would take a card first, that player would take a card, then he'd take another card, I would take a card, then I would take a card, he would take a card. So it's like a snake, you know, it goes back and forth until we both have 4 cards. So let's pretend, okay, so I'll go first, and let's say I get 1 card, he gets 1 card, he gets to go again, he gets another card, then I get to go again, I take 1 card, now it's my turn, I'll take this card, he goes again, he takes this card, then it's his turn to go, he'll take this card, and then I finally wrap up and take the remaining card. So remember, it's boom, 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 boom. Alright, so that is the drafting phase. So now I have my 4 cards, he has his 4 cards, so we'll remove all this out of the way. Alright, so the gameplay works in 4 phases, I call them. So we'll go over each phase individually. So the first phase is the preparation phase. So in the preparation phase, you can look at your hand and play any number of black cards face down, because those are the cards that will take effect once you roll. So I'm looking at my hand and I'm going to play my clubs, which remember is the +1 to your die roll, and the spades, which doubles damage. So I'll play those face down. Alright, this guy is probably going to do the same thing. He's going to play both face down. This concludes the preparation phase. The second phase is the action phase. So the action phase starts off with us flipping over, revealing what we're gonna be attacking with, or I guess our buffs, you want to call them, and we roll. So I'll be white die and bad guy will be red die. Roll, and he rolls poorly. He rolls a 3. I roll a 7. All right, so the action phase is now over. We've rolled and concluded who has won based off the black cards and the dice roll, which is me. So now we go to the reaction phase or the defend phase, however you want to call it. We can now use our red cards to alter our dice roll or to change things. So he is losing pretty poorly. He probably does not want to. Let's pretend he wants to reroll. So he'll play a 6. He's like, I'm going to reroll my die. I'm going to try to beat you. So he rerolls. And, oh wow, he actually does win. So he's at an 8, and I'm at a 7. And I'm like, I don't have any diamonds to reroll. So I lose. So he wins, and I take my damage, but because it's still the reaction phase, I can play a heart. I'll play my hearts to negate a damage, okay? So I'll play a hearts. But remember that before I played this, since he won, his spades, remember his spades does double damage if he wins. So I'm taking 2 damage. So I can block 1 with my hearts, but I'll still take 1 damage. So I lose 1 card out of my 5 card health pack. Lastly, we have the cooldown phase. So this is one of the most important phases. So before you pick up your die, you look at the die value you played. So I rolled a 7, right? If any of the cards I played match that number, I can pick up those cards back into my hand. So I rolled a 7, and I played 2 7s, so I get both my 7s back, which is not a pretty good deal. He rolled an 8, and he gets both his 8s back, so it's a really good deal. And the remaining cards that weren't picked up, I just tap them. And they stay on the table and do not get picked up unless during the cooldown phase you roll a number that matches that card on the table. And then so that concludes the cooldown phase, and then you just repeat and recycle. So it's preparation, action, reaction, cooldown. And you just keep repeating until someone dies first. So that concludes the game. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, please post in the bottom comment section below. If you have any suggestions or feedback, definitely please comment, because I made a previous video of card games and a lot of you guys asked questions and gave me a lot of good feedback and suggestions, and I used it to improve my game. So I really value the feedback. So please feel free to shout out whatever you want. I'm always looking to improve my games. And also I encourage you guys, use this chance. These cards and dice are pretty limited in the games you can play, and I've been trying to make more like RPG creative games. So I encourage you guys to brainstorm on your own and make your own games as well. Alright, so that's it. Have fun playing. I'll see you guys next time.